100 years ago, a vision began. And a small but united team would grow into a global enterprise. From medical firsts to navigating the greatest healthcare crisis of our time, and leading in innovations that impact lives around the world. All with a focus that would endure for a century. Patient care. Cleveland Clinic, the future of healthcare since 1921.
Hello. It is an honor to address you as CEO and President of Cleveland Clinic. Welcome to the Founders Day celebration of our centennial. On this same day, a century ago, 4 physicians spoke to the medical community right here in Cleveland. Doctors Frank Bunce, William Lauer, John Phillips, and George Cryle. It was the opening ceremony of their group practice and new model of care, one based on cooperation between allied clinicians. They had cared for wounded soldiers and believed in teamwork to serve the ultimate welfare of patients. Simply put, they aspired to do the highest possible good. Their credo, to act as a unit, became a founding ideal for Cleveland Clinic. Generations later, we remain a team gathered around the patient. We have innovated medical firsts, ranked among the top health systems, and touched countless lives as a beacon of hope. Cleveland Clinic has been the future of healthcare since 1921. We now look to the next 100 years and advance our organization as an even better place for care. I will touch on our history and the opportunities ahead, but first, I welcome Beth Mooney, Chair of the Board of Directors and Board of Trustees, to say a few words.
Hello, and congratulations to our Cleveland Clinic. 100 years is an incredible milestone for any organization, and we all know Cleveland Clinic is unlike any other. Our model of care is a unique gift to our communities. It is one reason patients from all over the world choose you for their care. But it's not the only reason. What really makes Cleveland Clinic stand out is the people. The caregivers of this organization are not identified by a badge or a uniform, but by genuine acts of service. Your caring legacy is felt in the lives you touch and the patients you heal. And that is a tradition to be proud of and one to continue for years to come. And on behalf of the Board of Directors, I would like to extend our appreciation to each and every one of you who makes Cleveland Clinic such a special place. So please enjoy the centennial celebrations this year. And with that, back to you, Tom. And thanks to you for all you are doing in leading us forward.
At Cleveland Clinic, we serve a true and noble purpose: to care for others. Our mission evokes the past, present, and future of patient care. Caring for life, researching for health, and educating those who serve. We treat every patient as a member of our own family. We strive to become the best place to receive care with safety, quality, and compassion at our core. Our team-based model of care is what saves lives and relieves suffering. Yet, we also prevent illness. We are becoming partners in health to our patients, providing the right care at the right place across their lifetimes. Technology improves care and makes it more accessible. Nearly 50 years ago, we created the world's first electronic registry for data-driven care. Today, we use digital tools to care for patients in their own homes. Discovery is in our DNA. For a century, we have advanced health with the treatments of tomorrow. Breakthroughs in coronary angiography, coronary bypass surgery, and face transplantation are part of our legacy. We see future treatments meeting the individual needs of our patients. The provision of care is evolving. We are educating teams that reimagine its delivery. Our health education campus convenes future doctors, nurses, and other clinicians to learn together, just as they would when caring for patients. This collaboration echoes the vision of our founders. Exceptional care is delivered by exceptional people. Cleveland Clinic caregivers set the example. Our family is selfless, diverse, compassionate, and skilled. Together, we're making this the best place to work in healthcare. We created the first caregiver office to build our safe, inclusive, and caring workplace of the future. Healthcare is challenging, and it's changing. But what will never change is the team approach central to our culture. As a team of teams, we must continue to support each other. As an employer, Cleveland Clinic will lead with new options for wellness and flexibility because we want our caregivers to thrive so they can focus on their passion, caring for our patients and communities. Cleveland Clinic is here to make the communities we serve healthier. We are much more than a healthcare organization. We're part of the social fabric and create opportunity. As an anchor institution, Cleveland Clinic promotes physical and economic health. We heal as a leader in public health and continuous patient care. We hire, developing the local workforce with outreach to our youth. And we invest through community benefit and charitable partnerships. The health of every individual affects the broader community. We are listening to our neighbors to understand their needs now and in the future. Our commitment to giving back will enhance our region for generations. Cleveland Clinic is growing, and that means it is healthy. Our ethical imperative is to touch as many lives as possible with the care we provide. It took nearly 40 years for us to serve 1 million patients. We now serve millions of patients every year. We have grown our health system in Ohio and Florida. We changed brain health in Las Vegas and brought our expertise to Canada. Our care is blossoming in Abu Dhabi. Soon, we will open a new hospital in London. The future of growth comes in many forms. In new geographies, with new technologies, and through partnerships. Like our founders, we're all temporary stewards of this organization and must treat Cleveland Clinic as our home. Our goal is to create a more affordable and sustainable model of care for years to come. On the day of our opening, co-founder Dr. Frank Bunce expressed hope. He knew that tomorrow's caregivers would seek to attain the highest and noblest aspirations. We have stayed true to who we are, creating the future of healthcare since our inception. Now, let's hear from some of our friends and colleagues about what matters most.
I think putting patients first makes the patient confidence so much stronger. And no matter who you are, all patients are going to be treated extremely well.
You know, we have a guiding principle that our patients are first and our caregivers always. Our caregivers here feel that they're part of a bigger picture, that they're part of the team.
They're always there.
It's our responsibility to touch as many lives as possible.
The connectivity of the Cleveland Clinic with the community, and not only in terms of employment opportunity, economic growth in the geographical neighborhood, but also in creating equitable health outcome is essential.
We have an obligation to increase the number of lives that we touch and the number of people that we care for. And we do that not only here in Ohio, but in other states and across the world.
These are our priorities.
And this is the future of healthcare.
The patient you just heard from is our friend, Charlie Shore. Charlie has spent much of his adult life diagnosed with epilepsy. At one point before his diagnosis, Charlie had seizures almost daily. Despite this, he never let his affliction slow him down. It inspired him to start the Charles L. Shore Foundation. Today, we're announcing that the foundation has made new gifts to Cleveland Clinic. $10 million to help fund our Neurological Institute building. The gift expands our ability to reach patients. In addition, the foundation has given more than $5 million to fund an epilepsy research project. The project is led by Charlie's physician, Dr. Imad Najm. Among its goals, this research aims to control seizures with alternative therapies and preserve memory in patients. Charlie, we thank you for your generosity and vision to advance health for others. Compassionate and innovative care is what makes Cleveland Clinic shine. Our healing touch has inspired not only patients, but also the larger world in which we live. Some of our closest friends and supporters join us in today's celebration. Take a look.
I would like to wish Cleveland Clinic a happy 100th birthday.
I want to wish you a happy and healthy 100th anniversary and offer my heartfelt congratulations on all that you've accomplished over the past century.
Happy birthday. Keep up the great work for the next 100 years.
Congratulations, Cleveland Clinic, on 100 years of service.
I'd like to wish the Cleveland Clinic my best wishes and congratulations.
Happy birthday, Cleveland Clinic!
Happy 100th birthday, Cleveland Clinic.
It is my great pleasure to be able to wish the Cleveland Clinic a very happy 100th birthday.
Happy birthday, Cleveland Clinic, 100 years young.
Happy birthday, Cleveland Clinic. Congratulations on 100 years of improving the lives of patients and families. God bless you.
Let me offer my congratulations to the Cleveland Clinic for their 100 years of extraordinary service to people.
Cleveland Clinic, it's great to be able to wish you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Cleveland Clinic. 100 years, wow.
Congratulations to the Cleveland Clinic for 100 years.
Congratulations on your centennial year.
Happy birthday, Cleveland Clinic!
I'd like to wish a very happy centennial birthday to everyone involved with the Cleveland Clinic.
Happy 100th birthday, Cleveland Clinic.
Hey everybody, Scott Hamilton here, wishing the Cleveland Clinic a happy 100th birthday. A lot of good stuff's happened in those 100 years.
Happy 100th birthday, Cleveland Clinic.
I want to congratulate all my friends at Cleveland Clinic on your 100-year anniversary.
Congratulations, Cleveland Clinic, for 100 years of service to humanity.
I would love to wish the Cleveland Clinic a happy 100th birthday.
Congratulations, Cleveland Clinic, on your 100th anniversary, and I want to personally thank each and every one of you for your tireless work in medical research.
Happy birthday to the Cleveland Clinic. Wow, 100 years. Congratulations.
Happy 100th birthday, Cleveland Clinic.
Happy birthday!
I hope and congratulate you and hope for the next 100 years of great service that you're going to provide. Hasta la vista, baby.
We are excited to celebrate our birthday all throughout 2021. Visit clevelandclinic.org/centennial. There, you can learn more about our history and get updates during the year. We are working on the 6th edition of our Cleveland Clinic story, To Act as a Unit. An audiobook version will be available soon. To tell our story in a new way, we partnered with CNN's Courageous Studios on a documentary. A Century of Care is a 4-part series. It follows real accounts from patients, their families, and our caregivers. Tonight's main event is a film based on all 4 episodes, but you can view the entire series online. Also, stick around after the film for a conversation with Cleveland Clinic leaders on the future of healthcare. Now, It is my pleasure to introduce the world premiere of the Century of Care.
My son is Eviatar. He's 4.5 years old. I'm not objective to say that, but he's a perfect little boy. And he's smart, and he's funny, and he's curious. Last year, he started to behave a little bit strange to us. He's looking at me with terrified eyes and say, "Mommy?" And I saw something strange with his eyes. And I said, "Eviatar." And then I saw it again. And at the hospital, they did a lot of tests, and they told us that Eviatar have epilepsy. Eviatar got worse every day. He's losing his conscience and just falling. That's why he's with the helmet. Which life is it like this? What is it? It's not fair. And then the idea of maybe to fly to some place in the world that have a professional in pediatric epilepsy, maybe it's the best for him. So we ask this question, okay, so where?
Well, this is what we live for. Our ethical framework is actually pretty simple and easy to understand.
Cleveland Clinic has over 10,000.
Everything that we do, we strive to look at through patients' eyes.
That's what motivates us. It's our sense of purpose here.
At the Cleveland Clinic.
Our mission has not really changed from the very inception of Cleveland Clinic. So we're about to turn 100 years old, and our mission is about to turn 100 years old.
We have a worldwide reputation.
Celebration of the past 100 years should be focused on how we've stayed true to who we are.
The Cleveland Clinic was invented in medicine.
This organization is our home, and the motto, patients first, is here to stay.
Okay, babe, I'm gonna take the blood sugar.
A lot of health is determined before you ever enter the healthcare system. The current life expectancy of an African American male is that of a white male 30 years ago. The healthcare system, we are failing within the African American community to improve this basic metric.
Who was this, your mom? How old was she on there?
I was a correction officer in Cleveland downtown jail for 24 years. I don't miss that job. Come home every day, eat, go to sleep, get up the next day, go to work, you know, and train your body that way. I trained my body that way.
Hey, Mr. Philmon. How are you?
Carl is a perfect example of the potential hazards of being diabetic. He had a small cut on his foot that went on to become a very severe infection. And as this process of non-healing persisted, we started to investigate his peripheral circulation.
So you can see up here, this is in your thigh area, and your amputation site is totally blocked here. We don't see that blood vessel.
People oftentimes think about the United States as a country that has this dichotomy in the perceptions of healthcare. On one side, we have a really exceptional hospital care, and on the other side, some of our public health outcomes are certainly not as good as one would expect for such a developed country as the United States. The reasons behind it is that the social determinants of health are the most powerful determinants of public health in a nation. Those who are poor, those who are less educated are those who suffer most.
I feel pretty good about this, Mr. Philmon. I have very good success with this human amnion.
With the understanding of the importance of social determinants of health comes also the understanding of the responsibility and the role that large organizations like ours play.
First, I thought that surgery is not a word that I want to hear. I don't know anyone to touch my young boy, my perfect young boy.
After we found out that it's going to be more complicated, we thought, stop, let's come to the best place in the world. Whoa! How many superheroes?
We told him we are going to meet the best doctor in the world. And he was so excited because he really wants someone to help him.
Thank you beaucoup. You know, we're very exciting, but, you know, as a father, we're very afraid. It's gonna be all right.
Hold your breath, and again, don't move when that raises.
My name is Terry Monique Overton. You know, I've always wanted to get a mammogram done due to the fact of my mom. It ran in our family on her side.
And then we'll do that same picture on this side.
Obviously, our foremost responsibility is to provide health care, but there are other responsibilities to provide support, education, in particular around the topics that are relevant to healthcare, and lastly, and very, very importantly, to provide jobs.
Hi. My name is Shannon Ross. I am a patient navigator in Cleveland Clinic. What makes my work meaningful is that I'm able to help the people that live in the same community as me, and I'm able to give them resources. I'm able to speak to their fears, and I'm able to help them through such a system that most people might be intimidated by, you know, a big hospital that they don't know where to start.
Hi, welcome to Langston. What's your appointment for today? Mammogram screening. Okay, let me call upstairs and let them know.
First encounter with Terry over the phone, she was actually one of the patients that we find in our database. She's at the age of 40, never had a mammogram. Date of birth? So my supervisor sent her information to me and asked me to reach out to her.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
This is your first mammogram, right?
Yes.
Right, okay. And tell me, do you have any family history of...
Yes, I do.
Our family health centers that are in our immediate communities serve multiple purposes. One of them is early cancer detection through cancer screening. And it is really important to understand that those centers are part of our integrated healthcare delivery system, such as Cleveland Clinic, meaning that if the patients were to have an early stage cancer that we're able to detect on time, then we can start an immediate treatment here in our main campus or one of our hospitals. And that is really an advantage of having a large healthcare system in an immediate neighborhood, that we can provide an entire scope of treatment from early detection to cure.
So I have the results. The radiologist didn't see anything to say for sure. I don't think there's anything we need to worry. We need to have an ultrasound. We will do that tomorrow, and actually Shannon will take care of that. Once a person gets a diagnosis of cancer, their whole life changes. It evokes so many emotions, and when I wear this white coat, I take it really seriously.
And so I think last time I saw you, we were going to get a bone density study in December. That's what I had in my notes. So I think one question that all of us in medicine have to ask ourselves is, why should the patient trust me? And I worry that we think that just because there's an MD or a DO after our name, that means we're entitled to the patient's trust. So your PSA is fine, so I don't have any difficult news today. Yeah, I know, it's a hard week before we test it. How are you doing in terms of side effects at this point?
Being a doctor isn't just about knowledge and isn't about just knowing the right diagnosis. It's about caring for people as human beings.
So now we're gonna try skills practice. So Dave, you're gonna be playing our doctor, and Brenda, you'll be playing the patient. We're practicing giving bad news, so how do you think she might react?
She might be really sad, she might...
Over 10 years ago, the clinic started looking seriously at how we communicate with patients.
We started with the idea that most clinicians, in fact, most people think they're amazing communicators. And if you think you're amazing at something, the likelihood that you're going to sign up for a class is pretty low.
The people we were training were very good at understanding how to figure out the right treatment and the right diagnosis, but oftentimes the conversations I heard them having with patients seemed to lack an understanding of what it would be like to be the patient in that conversation. And if she's sad or angry, what are you gonna?
I can tell her that it's normal to feel.
The clinic decided that that was going to be a priority and developed a training program for all of our physicians in how to conduct conversations with patients that were built more around a strong relationship with the patients.
I think now she's wanting information.
Right, so that's sort of a turning point in the conversation.
These are some examples of moving empathy out of a one-on-one relationship and into the way an organization runs. There's a quote on the wall. Nearly 100 years ago, the clinic was founded by a number of men who were in the military who recognized that they could provide the best care for the patient when they worked together as a team. That's where we started 100 years ago, and we're still there, driving that same patient-centered promise.
Our Epilepsy Center has been a pioneer in developing new methods for seizure localization and then developing the surgeries that allow us to take out the problem without harming the brain around it.
Before we met Dr. Wiley, we read about her a lot.
Elaine is a hero for all children with epilepsy. Amazing woman.
She had the courage to aggressively treat kids with seizure problems that were thought to be incurable.
You have a seizure. This is a seizure.
A life with epilepsy can be very hard, and we're weighing that against the opportunities of stopping the seizures with surgery. And when we think of it that way, the opportunity to innovate can be a chance for a better life.
So the cortex, which is the layer of all
astute doctors in Israel recognized that there were some clues to the way his seizures behaved, suggesting that surgery might be a possibility.
In Israel, we have great doctors, but Israel is a small country. And I think what's so unique here, they're working as a real team.
Good morning. Mom, how are you? How about Aviatar? How is he?
I see cases every day from all over the world where patients are told you don't have any options, and you look at the pictures and you say, gosh, I mean, there is an option and we should do something.
Dr. Bingaman is probably the most experienced epilepsy surgeon in North America.
My personal philosophy is the parents are always right. Making the decision as a parent to have part of your child's brain removed because they can't make that decision, you're making it for them. There's a lot of, I think, emotions in that decision.
Let me get a marking pen. I'll be right back.
If we can cure him and to help him with his situation, of course we will. Of course we will try.
Okay, once we get socks and shoes off here and get the boot off, there's 2 tests that we're gonna do. We're gonna do a blood pressure cuff test.
Carl recognizes the impact that an amputation would have on his life. He's lived with it for 2 years.
A lot of what we do in treating blood vessels is based upon all these imaging studies. And what I can see is this, see that bright white area? That's calcium within your artery.
With the assistance of these procedures, we can improve the circulation to his foot, really give him the full court press with an attempt to save his limb.
Have a good day, Mr. Philmon.
All right, thank you.
We live in a free market. If you compensate someone to produce widgets wildly, they will produce a lot of widgets. If you compensate someone to just do what's right for the patient in this instance, I don't get extra money if I do 5 extra procedures. All of a sudden, that opens up the ability in the interest of physicians to collaborate.
You might be in another market and go and visit a specialist for this, only to have to pack up your records and see a specialist for something that might be very complementary. But here, we work together as a team and we collaborate on helping patients heal.
14 years ago, we reorganized ourselves around the needs of the patient. all the professionals that participate, regardless on how they trained, revolve around the disease and the patient that they are treating.
For instance, I'm a vascular surgeon. I may need my cardiology colleagues or my cardiovascular colleagues, infectious disease, to take care of a patient. I'm not incentivized to try to do something that may be on the margins of my expertise.
Adult epilepsy, pediatric epilepsy, neurosurgery, psychology, bringing all of these specialists together, that's where we get our opportunities to help in situations that are not immediately apparent.
It is a new way to deliver care. It is a culture of respect and for passion for patient care. And this permeates every corner of this organization. You can feel it when you walk around here.
It's very common to get called back on your first mammogram because we don't know what your breast tissue looks like. Okay, so
You know, when you go into oncology, a lot of those of us who are drawn into it are drawn because of our deep concern for people and wanting to connect with them.
I'm gonna cover you up here.
Hi, Terry. How are you? Okay. I'm gonna take a look at a couple areas that we see.
I feel like our specialty is difficult conversations. But I think people don't understand how hard the conversations are.
Some of the focal areas seem to be some overlapping tissue or less prominent once we do compression. Others of them we can see are really truly
You know, it's kind of really scary, you know. I might have it. I might have it. I might have it.
a little bigger than an Amica too as well.
I've been scared to get it, but I know what's best for me.
So I just have one more to find and then we should be done.
I'm closing my eyes. And all I want to see is like 2 months from now, Evyatar's riding on his bike and just with no danger, no seizures, nothing.
Okay, we're Evyatar's team, okay?
Every day, the seizures are becoming more stronger. We don't want to wait even one more day.
Do you have a favorite PJ Masks?
People that go into neurosciences tend to be optimists. On one hand, you have patients with extraordinary needs. There's nothing in the toolbox that currently can address that problem. So we need to innovate. On the other hand, in everything that we do that's experimental, it carries a risk.
Okay. Can I just verify your name and your birthday with me?
Carl Fromming. And we told him, the doctor, the best doctor in the world, is going to come and take all the seizures out. After he will enter to the surgery, the only thing that we can do is to pray. We did all the things we can do.
Carl, we're gonna give you some numbing medication so you're gonna feel a bee sting, okay? 1, 2, 3.
For a patient like Carl that's gone through this for 2 years, he has modified his behavior and done all that we've asked of him. That's why I'm pulling for him to get through this and for us to have a successful outcome.
That looks good. His runoff looks good down to that foot.
These patients, you know, some of them have seizures the next day. And so I think that's the hardest part for the parents is hearing that, well, gosh, remember, I don't know for sure it's gonna stop.
So they're oxygenating him, then they're going to put the breathing tube in the electric there.
He really understands everything that's going on, but he really, really wants someone to help him. And that's why we're here. It's going to happen. And maybe we are going to cure our little boy.
Hi, Simone. Dr. Kirk Sim, looking for the family of Mr. Philmon.
There is an expectation for organizations like Cleveland Clinic to set the tone for the country, for the world.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
So we just did Mr. Philmon's angiogram, and he actually has fantastic circulation, so that's great.
That is great.
All of us are happy with the way that it looks today.
We do have a healthy understanding that this is a never-ending task, but we also have this ethical imperative to grow.
We have always served international patients from the very beginning. You can dive into the documents from our inception. And when I came to the clinic in around 2005, we were beginning to evolve our thinking around recreating the model in another location in the globe. And with fantastic partners, we've been able to create something that no other healthcare system in the United States has been able to create.
And that is?
That's Cleveland Clinic Abu Dhabi. Well, it took an entire team trying to set up an international employee population. Over 360 beds in a bespoke building on a man-made island, halfway around the world from us, but connected to us digitally.
Isn't it shocking to see the brain waves of someone in another country being watched live across the globe? Las Vegas, Cleveland, Canada.
In Florida, London, Cleveland Clinic Abu Dhabi.
But there's vast, vast opportunities in many corners of the globe that we haven't touched.
We believe that we can make a difference, and through that, we believe that we have a responsibility to share that with the world.
Each of those facilities where the Cleveland Clinic plants its seed and hospitals and healthcare grow, research grows right along with it. From the very founding in February 1921, research, education, and patient care. It's all mixed together.
And research is part of what we do. It's part of the delivery of care. And so we have a massive portfolio of clinical trials, and we can't do research without philanthropy.
We do get grants. We're very successful at it. But when we have an idea, we want to move it forward right away.
Excellence in clinical care and research helps us to educate those who are going to come after us, and we're going to lead the medicine into a future.
Can you open your eyes for us?
Good job.
You're doing great, Aviatar.
Just wake it up. Well done.
So surgery went very well. I opened things up, everything went fine, he didn't need any blood. And at the end, the EEG was nice and quiet. Now, as we talked about, I don't know that the seizures will go. The only proof is time, okay?
Patients I see as a surgeon have all failed medicines. They expect to fail. Everything that they've done so far has failed. And so when you cure them and the epilepsy goes away and they can drive and they can work, they're the happiest, most grateful people in the world, and that's very gratifying.
Thank you so much. Thank you for everything.
Good morning. May I come in? Hello, hello. Eviatar, would you like to open something? Everything seems to be going really well. I have heard nothing about any problems. Would you agree? He looks like a wizard.
Neuroscience is a humbling field of medicine. And to be able to come to a cure, we will have to collaborate between physicians and scientists so that scientists can better understand the limits of medicine and physicians can better understand what science can offer for progress. I don't separate patient care and research. To me, they are integrated parts of what we are at Cleveland Clinic.
No, I'm okay. All right, yep, we'll give them about just a couple more minutes.
trying to be pretty strong. It hurts, but I understand. I've learned a lot of things this past week. You know, I'm stronger than I thought I was.
But I'll be here with you, and we're gonna get some good news.
So whatever the results are, I'm willing to accept them.
We know who's receiving this news from me. We know their family, we know their kids. The toughest part is when I walk into the room and tell them.
What's the best way to get that information across to someone? Like you're just about to shatter their world.
I'm so glad you came back and we did all these extra tests. So it's showing the cyst. It's not unusual for us to see that. If somebody has a cyst, is that a high-risk condition for breast cancer? No, cyst will not increase the risk for breast cancer. So it's all great news. It's really, really good news, yeah.
And I think what is sad for me sometimes is that patients don't realize how much we in medicine care about them, but the reason they don't know it is that we don't show it to them. And empathy, in a lot of ways, is about trying to show patients how much we care.
With your family history, I think it's good for us to follow it closely. And you will come back?
Absolutely.
I know. So you have all these new friends now, right?
Absolutely.
It's okay?
Bye, Beta.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
great. Perfect. Okay, I think we have it. Can you tell me, how is Evyatar doing?
He's wonderful. He's recovery, and we're feeling that we got our son back.
Oh, that's beautiful.
לראות אם אתה מצליח לתפוס.
I mean, I feel a lot better. The healing process is still ongoing, but it's healing.
It's come a long way, baby. It really has.
Hello, Evyatar. Thank you, Evyatar. Was that his idea?
The interesting thing about being at Cleveland Clinic is there is always a next.
There is so much work yet to be done, and I know Cleveland Clinic will carry it forward for decades.
It's amazing that they can cure conditions like Evyatar.
Speedy recovery.
People don't care about what you say until they know that you care. That's something that someone told me very early on in medical school, and it goes for every part of our life.
Welcome. I'm Laura Kalofatis, chair of the Philanthropy Institute at Cleveland Clinic. I hope you enjoyed that powerful world premiere installment of A Century of Care, a new docuseries created by Cleveland Clinic and CNN's Brand Studio. I think the film really speaks to what lies at the very heart of Cleveland Clinic's story, the promise of better days ahead. During World War I, our founders set their sights beyond the battlefields. They looked to the future and laid the groundwork for the physician-led group practice that would put patients first, still our North Star all these years later. Disaster struck in 1929, when a deadly explosion in the original clinic building led to the loss of 123 lives. Yet Cleveland Clinic resolved to rebuild, sustained by overwhelming support from caregivers as well as the community. Indeed, better days ahead. As Cleveland Clinic grew in stature, trailblazing caregivers made quantum leaps in cardiovascular surgery, hypertension research, artificial organs, and many other areas. Their forward thinking saved lives and changed lives. This evening, we celebrate our incredible Cleveland Clinic family, our patients, our caregivers, our volunteers, and our supporters. And we look back on 100 years of history amid a historic pandemic. And now, more than ever, we embrace that promise of better days ahead. This bright future is supported by over 286,000 donors from all 50 states and 73 countries. 100% of their generosity will further improve patient care, fuel research breakthroughs, and provide education for the future of healthcare. And our own caregivers have given it their all while fighting on the front lines of this pandemic. They have generously donated more than $1 million to our campaign to fund COVID-19 research and caregiver support programs. With even more to do to advance patient care, research, education, our campaign continues this year. Every gift of every size will make a difference today and lay the foundation for the next 100 years of the Cleveland Clinic's global impact. Now, to help us contemplate what lies ahead, I'm excited to welcome 4 Cleveland Clinic leaders to share their perspectives on the future. First, Dr. Brian Donnelly, CEO of Cleveland Clinic London. Dr. Donnelly, with our North Star of Patients First as the centerpiece of our culture and care for 100 years, how do we build on that to further enhance empathy in all that we do for our patients? Dr. Donnelly?
Well, thank you, Laura, and thanks for the opportunity to be here. What a really great question as we think in the next 100 years. When we look back for the last 2,400 years, since the time of Hippocrates, healing, which what we call now healthcare, has been about the balance between the science of medicine and the art of medicine. The art of medicine being what we refer to as empathy. The next 100 years in this 25th century journey will see the exponentially growing power of science, allowing more time and focus to be on empathy in healthcare. And with the people of the Cleveland Clinic and with the culture of the Cleveland Clinic, we're perfectly situated to lead this for the next 100 years. When you think about the unprecedented scientific knowledge, the growing social determinants of health data, combined with unparalleled diagnostic and treatment capabilities which will exist over these next 100 years, this is going to allow our caregivers of the future to have less of a burden from the collection, the analysis, and the reporting of data, and allow more emphasis on the caregivers of the future to be that person who interprets the data and, most importantly, counsels the patient. And with this, we'll see a much more personalized, empathetic approach that will allow for better, equitable care for all. And I think what we have the opportunity here as the Cleveland Clinic is to capitalize on the science of medicine to enhance the art of medicine over these next 100 years and unlock the potential for great care for patients by being able to care greatly for patients.
Well, that's inspiring. Thank you, Dr. Donnelly. Dr. Barry Ridgway is our Chief of Staff. And with empathy at the core of care, it's certainly about the people who are providing that care. You're head of basically a large physician practice. When you look at the clinicians and scientists of the next century at the Cleveland Clinic, what does the future look like for you?
Yes, thanks so much for having me today. I'm excited to be part of this group. When I think of where we are and where we were, empathy won't change, as Dr. Donnelly said. But when we take those next steps, there are some things that will be different. First, we'll be more team-based, more than ever. Cleveland Clinic was founded on that principle. But as knowledge is doubling now every couple months, we need to work in teams to provide that care to the patients. These teams will be more diverse than they've ever been. And now more than ever, we're understanding the importance of having our team's diversity match the communities where we're serving to provide the best and safest care. And we'll also be global. Traditionally, a physician practice or a science-based practice is at one location for one's career. With our global enterprise and how this is moving, Physicians, scientists, and doctors will have opportunities like they've never had to practice in different countries and with different exciting teams.
Thank you, Dr. Ridgway. Yes, I think the base of care is a team of teams, and so grateful to have this incredible team with us today. Dr. Jim Merlino is our Chief Clinical Transformation Officer. When I think about the past 100 years, one of the cores has been constant innovation. From your vantage point, what are some of the innovations in patient care that are coming for the future?
You know, Laura, this organization was founded by 4 people 100 years ago who came together and said there's a better way to practice care, and that's by using teamwork, a novel concept 100 years ago. It defined who we are, and it helped redefine an industry. And as we look to the future, as Dr. Ridgway said, how we continue to build teams and lever teams to do what we do is going to be critically important. But our responsibility as leaders is really, or as stewards of the organization, setting the course for the next 100 years, is to think ahead of how healthcare could be, or probably more importantly, how healthcare should be. So what are the investments that we need to make today, based on our experiences, based on our history, that can plot the course for the next 100 years around cancer care and genomics and virology, and investing in our people and our cultures so that we have the right care delivery model, so that we don't have to predict, but everything we do today will be building upon what we know we'll be able to adapt for the future leaders of Cleveland Clinic.
Thank you. Dr. Connor Delaney is our CEO and president of Cleveland Clinic Florida, and we're growing. We're growing in Florida. We're certainly growing in London. How do we continue to serve more patients every year in growing in our locations around the world with this consistent focus on quality and safety in the delivery of care?
Thank you, Laura, and thanks for really what is such a critical question for us as we expand our opportunity to bring care to patients around the world. And I think the simple answer is it's by following our mission. So our mission statement, which we've updated for our next century of caring for patients, is caring for life, researching health, and educating those who serve. And we have the team and people to be able to do that. And I think there's 4 key ways we do it. First is by following this mission to serve patients, because we believe we can bring our individualized world-class care to patients around the US and internationally. Second is by following our passion for a culture of excellence and a track record of bringing a team of experts together who are thought leaders, are still trying to get even better. Third is by our ability to share best practices and best care protocols within our teams and learn from each other as we go into new sites. A classical example being as we go into London, partnering with physicians and caregivers in London. And this is something I think we've demonstrated throughout Ohio, Florida, in Abu Dhabi, and soon London. And finally is just ensuring that we maintain our commitment to quality, safety, and patient experience, which are the drivers of our excellent outcomes.
Thank you, Dr. Delaney. Yes, as we talked about our growth in London, Dr. Donnelly, I'd like to turn it to you. As we think about consistent quality of care and transformational care, what does that look like in the UK?
You know, Laura, I think as I hear the comments from Connor, Jim, and Barry, all of those really come together when we think about our expansion into London. And we're coming to London actually to celebrate that spirit of innovation that has been alive and well throughout the 100 years of the Cleveland Clinic. And where this comes together is we talk in London about the fact that we are bringing the best of Cleveland Clinic, but we want to integrate with the best of UK healthcare. And then that allows us, as Barry mentioned about diversity, it allows us that diversity of input, not only so that we get better answers to the questions for the next 100 years, but that diversity allows us, more importantly, to make sure we're answering the right questions as we go forward.
Thank you. You know, we're sitting here in the midst of a pandemic, and all of you are continuing to excel in your roles and support our patients and the Cleveland Clinic. So Dr. Ridgway, you know, through this pandemic, a lot has been said about resilience. And so what drives you? What gets you excited when you come to work every day?
Well, first, when I wake up, I really feel gratitude. Gratitude for my experience here in training, gratitude for my ability to work for a great organization, And I recognize really, as Jim said, that I'm a steward here, and that's quite temporary when you look at the history of the organization. And I think each and every day, what can I do to make this a better place to work? What can I do to support our physicians, scientists, doctors, and caregivers so that they can do what they do best? And that's what I find quite exciting.
Thank you. Dr. Merlino, you've seen a lot of healthcare systems in your career. What is the secret sauce at the clinic?
You know, I think the secret sauce in the clinic is the teamwork. I have been around the country looking at healthcare systems. There's nobody delivers care like we do. And it is how people come together, whether it's right here in Northeast Ohio to deliver on the lowest cardiac mortality in the world, or whether it's how teams come together to take great Cleveland Clinic ideas and care anywhere around the world to where we serve patients. And you know, you're listening to 4 members of the leadership team, which is part of one team, and how we work together and how we come together to really define how we think about this organization. And it's just exciting because it's pretty consistent. And I think you can understand by listening to us that, you know, we have an amazing perspective on what a truly amazing organization Cleveland Clinic really is.
Thank you. And you think about that team of teams, that secret sauce. You know, Dr. Delaney, as we grow in Florida, how do you take that and build that sense of Cleveland Clinic culture as you integrate with new systems and new hospitals?
That's another great question, Laura. So we're approaching 70,000 caregivers, and it's another thing we have to be extremely thoughtful about as we grow, and as we grow geographically and at each site. And so I think, as Jim mentioned, it's the teamwork, right? So a really critical part of the teamwork is picking the right people and picking the right team for the teams that we can build and complementing the existing teams we have. And then when we pick those people, it's educating them about our history and our mission. It's using some of the evidence-based tools we have around patient experience, listening, empathy, which Dr. Donnelly talked about, relationship-based communication, education about our safety protocols and our standards. And then also, I think the extra secret sauce that we have is that we seed some of our new sites with some Cleveland Clinic DNA. So we're bringing in people who are experienced in our culture so we can accelerate how we integrate with local communities and local caregivers.
That's great, thank you. You know, as we mark this historic occasion, a final thought from each of you on your own personal experience and what will make Cleveland Clinic special over the next 100 years. I'm going to talk to you, Dr. Donnelly.
Well, Laura, I think my final thought is when I think of the comments that were just made, and especially around stewardship, you know, a tremendous appreciation to the 100 years of caregivers. And I use that term in the broadest sense. And it certainly includes every single person on this call today. An appreciation to what that group of caregivers 100 years has built, so that I personally, over my 26 years at the Cleveland Clinic, have been able to have a career with tremendous meaning and purpose, which is what I wanted, and allowed a culture where I could be my best and continue to be my best every day. So thank you to all of you and all of you over the past 100 years.
Thank you, Dr. Donnelly, for your service. Dr. Ridgway.
I just feel immense gratitude and appreciation, and I'm so excited to be a small part of something really big and to be able to partner with leaders and other caregivers to do something that has significant impact. And that partnership just isn't with our caregivers, but it's with our communities as well. And that's really exciting.
Thank you. Dr. Merlino.
You know, Laura, my wife Amy and I are both physicians and leaders at Cleveland Clinic, and we are incredibly proud and honored to be among the thousands of caregivers around the world that deliver care every day to the people that we serve. It's an honor and a privilege. But the legacy to be a part of, you know, the tens of thousands of people that have served this organization over the last 100 years is something that we cherish. The clinic has given us so much and continues to give us every day. And it's one of the reasons why we've decided to give to the Legacy campaign to help support the future. We want to make sure that we're helping and giving back, that Cleveland Clinic continues to be the beacon of healthcare for the next 100 years as it's been for the last 100 years.
Thank you. Thank you for your support in so many ways to this organization, Dr. Molino. And final thought from you, Dr. Delaney.
That's two thoughts or two emotions. It's humility and excitement. I'm humbled to be part of the organization and part of the team, whether it's on this call or our broader group of caregivers worldwide, but excited about the opportunity, about what we can do. I'm here because of the team that we have. It excites me every day to be part of this team and to be able to do what we do as an organization for the healthcare of our patients. I think we're uniquely situated to bring empathetic, high quality care to patients around the world. And it's something that I just find exciting every day.
Thank you. We stand on the shoulders of giants, and I'm humbled to have you as colleagues as we celebrate and mark this historic occasion. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate your insights and support. Before we conclude this evening, I invite you to check out the entire 4-part docuseries, A Century of Care, and much more additional Centennial content on demand by visiting our Centennial website. Also, mark your calendar now for our annual Cleveland Clinic experience on July 14th. We'll take you on the behind-the-scenes tour of our healthcare system virtually and share the latest healthcare insights from Cleveland Clinic leaders. In the meantime, be well and safe. We have partnered with Virgil Abloh and Sway on a special mask where science meets fashion. So remember to mask up. We couldn't think of a more fitting way to end this program than a musical tribute to our frontline caregivers. The first performance is from the Goo Goo Dolls lead singer, Johnny Resnick, performing the song Fearless.
Hey everybody, this is Johnny from the Goo Goo Dolls, all masked up as I should be. And I want to say happy 100th anniversary to the Cleveland Clinic. This song is dedicated to all the frontline caregivers.
Behind every fear there's a light told. Spend most of my life trying to let go. The more you love, the more you bleed. Some days will be harder than others, so we gotta lean on each other. Hands in the air, hearts on our sleeves. 'Cause we're living in a world unfair. We're living in a world so scared. We gotta be fearless, fearless. We're brave enough to feel this, feel this. We're running down our demons, demons. No doubts around it, I finally found it. Fearless, fearless. I never thought I'd feel this, feel this. I finally believe it, believe it. No doubts around it, I finally found it. I can't be myself if I'm hiding. If I'm not living, I'm dying. I can't be what I don't know. I'm tearing apart all the labels, throwing my luck on the table. And if I lose, I won't go home. 'Cause you're living in a world unfair. We're living in a world so scared. We gotta be fearless, fearless. We're brave enough to feel this, feel this. We're running down our demons, demons. No doubts around it, I finally found it. Fearless, fearless. I never thought I'd feel this, feel this. I finally believe it, believe it. No doubts around it, I finally found it. Hold it close, don't ever let it go. I can feel the light inside. Hold it up so that everybody knows now is not the time to hide. 'Cause we're living in a world unfair. We live in a world so scared. We gotta be fearless, fearless. We're brave enough to feel it, feel this. We're running down our demons, demons. No doubts around it. I finally found it. Fearless, fearless. I never thought I'd feel this, feel this. I finally believe it, believe it. No doubts around it. I finally found it.
And to close, we're joined by members of the Cleveland Orchestra performing a piece by Florence Price. Thank you for joining us, and we appreciate your continued support.
Thank you so much for joining us, and welcome to our Founders Day performance. Before we begin, I'd like to share some thoughts on our long-standing partnership with the Cleveland Clinic. The Cleveland Orchestra was founded in 1918, just a few years before the Cleveland Clinic. Since the early days, these two institutions have been deeply rooted within the city of Cleveland as anchor institutions. Both organizations play a vital role in our community, and both started right here in Northeast Ohio. And both carry the Cleveland name proudly throughout the world. We musicians have shared the calming gift of music with patients and caregivers throughout the pandemic, while simultaneously, a wonderful team of Cleveland Clinic doctors has advised us every step of the way on COVID protocols to keep orchestra, musicians, staff, and audiences safe. Throughout the summer of 2020, Cleveland Orchestra musicians performed more than 20 Healthcare Heroes concerts at the Cleveland Clinic to support frontline workers who continue to work tirelessly and fight for our health and for people's lives. For Founders Day, we will perform music written during the time of the clinic's founding that is as new to our world as the clinic was back then. Florence Price, the composer of these two string quartet movements, was in her prime in the early part of the 20th century. She was born in Arkansas in 1887 and was the first African-American woman to be recognized as a symphonic composer and the first to have a composition played by a major orchestra, by the Chicago Symphony, actually. Yet her career never blossomed. Her time was not ready for her. Many unpublished works were discovered in a cardboard box in an Illinois attic as recently as 2009. Thankfully, she is enjoying a well-deserved renaissance now. In our first piece, Price's music uses typically African-American melodic idioms to express a deeply peaceful mood. We hope this music will allow your spirit to rest for a moment from these turbulent times that we're in. And the second piece is named Juba, after a dance that is a precursor to tap and swing dances. It was very popular in the 19th century and has its original roots in the Congo. You may notice a kinship between these two movements. Price takes the melody of the slow movement, and by having us play double speed in the next movement, it becomes a dance melody. So, very cool. We truly hope you will enjoy these two quartet movements by Florence Price as much as we have enjoyed preparing them for you. From the Cleveland Orchestra to you, our beloved Cleveland Clinic, we congratulate you on 100 years, and we look forward to our next 100 years together.